I'm talking about. We are back. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's get everything put aside. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Richest Steve in Atlanta. I am your host, Stevie Steve. Today is July 1st, 2024. It is a whole nother month for you to be great. It's a whole nother month for us all to be great. Let's get that right, because, I definitely want to start off on a good foot as well for this month. So if you make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment, because we got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the presidential debate that happened last Thursday. We got vacation on debt. And then we're going to end this off with porn addiction. I think that was a little video. It was pretty neat. And like I said, it is the beginning of the month. It is a whole nother month for you to be great. It is a whole nother month for me to be great. We got to make this all together, a great month. This is officially the halfway point of the year. So this is the time when it is actually time to get down with it, to end your year out with a bang. I know for me, this time of year is going to be a test for me because this is my usual time that I stop doing YouTube. I've noticed that for me. You got to notice yourself. You got to notice how things usually work for you. This is the time of year when I usually stop doing YouTube. Like I said, I've been doing YouTube for 3 years. 2.5 now. But at this point in time is the time when I usually stop. I'll go half the year, and then the second half of the year, I'm not really feeling the YouTube thing. And I've done that 2 years in a row. So, knowing that about myself, this is the time that I need to lock in. This is the time when I need to double down. And this is the time that I need to focus on this YouTube thing more than ever. For me, this is an important time of the year. Like I said, and then I'm about to hit my debt-free goal. Only got like $2,000 left on that. July, August, that's what that sounds like. July and August, and then I'll be done with my student loans. So the second half of the year is a very important time for me in general. So I hope that y'all also lock down and finish this year out strong as well. Or start off your second half strong. Because I know for me, like I said, I'm locking in and doubling down on this YouTube thing because this is usually when I quit. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment because we're going to have a great show today. So, let's go ahead and start it, y'all. The presidential debate. Let me know how y'all was feeling about that. I'll tell y'all, lose-lose situation on both sides. Both sides had some things that will make you question, gosh, this is who we got to vote for. It was so bad. I know a lot of people, now they looking at Robert Kennedy on the independent circuit. Like, I think he might be the way to go. But I think America got to make some rules or something before the independence is really the way to go. Because if you vote for the independent vote, it's just like, yeah, you voted, but were they really going to win? Did they even stand a chance? Like, that's the biggest thing with that. That's the biggest thing with how I feel. It's like not even a chance that they're going to win. So, something needs to be done to change that. That way that people have a third option to vote for. You feel me? Like, it's just not cool to me that you almost know that you're voting for the losing vote, and they're not going to get really anything, like at all. It's not even a chance that person wins. Something has to change. Something has to change in with all this before I go down that route. But yeah, the presidential debate, it was a lose-lose situation. Both sides had some craziness going on. And I got a little clip that we gonna play before I just run down some of the things that I noticed about this thing. So I'm gonna let this clip play, and then I'm gonna come back and get everything off my chest that I need to get off my chest, you feel me, about this presidential debate. Let's get it.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump faced off on June 27th in the first presidential debate of the 2024 campaign.
I think it was the most memorable presidential debate I've ever seen. Unfortunately for President Biden, it was memorable because of his disastrous performance.
WSJ's Damian Paletta breaks down the debate and how the candidates' performances could affect the election. From the moment he started with his opening statement, President Biden sounded hoarse and quiet.
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right.
He was unsteady from the beginning. He seemed very uncertain in his answers to questions. There were times when he couldn't even finish a sentence, and he seemed unsure of what he wanted to say.
Now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
The Wall Street Journal reported recently that there were a number of private incidents at the White House where people had witnessed Biden showing signs of slipping. And we used numerous specific examples of what people saw, people from across the political landscape, and how they had seen him starting to age more aggressively, especially when they were talking about important policy discussions like the debt ceiling and the war in Ukraine. There have been numerous occasions where President Biden seemed a little unsure in public. So with all those things kind of hanging in the air, President Biden really needed to deliver a strong performance to show that that was not who he was, that the President Biden we saw just a few months ago at the State of the Union, who was full of vigor and energy, that kind of person was the person who was running for president.
The state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
We just did not see that during the debate. We are now going to be having a much different conversation as a country heading into the Democratic convention about whether he should be on the ticket, whether he can compete for the presidency. They still have time, but it's the last thing that Biden needed was this debate.
For his part, Trump was a slightly more subdued version of his usual self.
Trump was Trump. He answers questions that he wants to hear, not questions that he gets asked.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him.
Trump continued his penchant for spreading falsehoods and exaggerations.
We now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy.
Even though he, exaggerated certain things, it was kind of effective. It was very consistent with the Trump that everybody knows.
If I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us.
We were all watching to see if he would be more combative and try to bend the rules and interrupt. He didn't really do that at all. He didn't argue with the moderators. He kind of stayed out of Biden's way. Trump wanted Biden to talk as much as possible. No one's going to remember this debate for the policies. They're only going to remember the debate for one thing, and that was how poorly Biden performed. And there's conversations happening as we speak about whether or not he can stay on the ticket and whether or not he can actually be the Democratic candidate for president in November. That's a shocking thing to think, and that's a thing a few days ago people mostly thought is unfathomable, but that's a conversation that's happening right now all across the country.
With the Democratic National Convention scheduled for August and the election still several months out, there is room for Biden to maneuver.
So the question is, can Biden put himself back together again and convince voters that he deserves to be on the ticket, or did he sort of just doom his chances in the debate?
I will say, America, we are in trouble. Boy, America, we are in trouble, man. That whole little just looks horrible. That whole little look just looks horrible. Just the whole debate was holy, bruh. Not it. The whole debate was not it. We're gonna start with Biden, then go on to Trump. Like he said, Biden just looked like an old man up there. Like, gosh, Lee Biden, fight back. He failed that debate purely off of America wanted to see, could he still run the country? Is he strong enough to run the country? Like, that was our biggest, complaint was what we seen up there on that debate stage. That's literally what happened. Our biggest complaint was what we saw on that debate stage. Y'all, I had to watch the debate a little late because y'all know I do Hartfelt Conversations on Thursday. And it ended literally like 30 minutes after the debate started. The debate was an hour, 30 minutes. So I got in at 30 minutes, then I started watching. The first thing I noticed, why is Biden looking like this? I'm talking about, it's like he kept just like looking at nothing, looking old, like that's how Biden kept looking. Is Biden okay? Like, is he okay? He's stuttering over his words, of course, And I've heard he's actually always kind of, like he had a stutter coming up, but that, and then, he wasn't finishing his sentences. That's cool. Biden's policies, people might can rock with his policies, but if he can't get them out, if he can't spit them out, I think we're all cool with his policies. It's just we're not cool with him. With Biden. It was not a good performance. He did not perform good. That's all we needed from him, was to perform good, be able to stand up there and look like he could run the country. And he did not do that. And I know he didn't do it. Even after the debate, they had the after debate, everybody want to talk about it. They said, yeah, Biden lost purely off of him not being able to stand here and show the American people that he can run the country, that he's healthy enough to run the country. And this was another thing that I saw. Because Biden the next day comes back, wherever he was at, and he's on stage. And he's like, I got to give the backstory. They said we needed Biden to go on stage and say, I'm going to fight for the American people. I'm ready to die for this. Like, we needed him to get on that stage and prove to us, I'm about this. And he didn't do that. But the next day, here he comes. I heard what y'all said. I ain't no spring chicken. And everybody, yeah. Because, it's his party. I'm not no young man no more. But I'm ready to die for this. And they said, yeah. That's all we needed from him. And he went on there the next day after the debate and was bringing people in with that. I'm talking about he reeled them in with that. They talking about, yeah. But I think he lost it in general. I think he lost it. And like I said, we need another candidate. The Democrats, I feel like they're going to have to. I don't know We're gonna have to see what Joe does in the next coming days to, like I said, change the viewpoint of how people feel about Biden. You know, he can say all he want. I felt like I did good up there. You know, I felt like I did this. The American people need to be listened to. If the Democratic Party does not listen to the American people, they are going to lose. You got to listen to the American people. And a lot of the American people just aren't. I'm talking about, I was seeing jokes on Facebook. This commercial break is so that Biden can go change his diaper. Like, are y'all serious? Ain't no way. And Biden he's not it. Democrats have got to come with another candidate. Biden lost it all the way. Now let's go ahead and move on to Trump, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on to Trump. Trump didn't do much better in this debate, I feel like, in gaining traction, in gaining people to his cause at all. Because he definitely didn't go on any policies like he was supposed to. He had Biden beat in the first half easily, just off of Biden beating himself, because Biden, like I said, he's stuttering. He had Biden beat easily, but instead of him doubling down on his policies, he doubles down on bullying Biden. And like the video said, he didn't answer not one question. Y'all know that he's not going to answer one question, and he's going to exaggerate, twist the truth on anything. When they started fact checking him, exaggerated. That's all that was a whole bunch of exaggerations. And I gotta ask the question: what is a black job? What is a black and Latino job? I know what he meant to say, a low wage job. They're taking low wage jobs. Yeah, they are. They're immigrants. This is my biggest thing with the whole immigration thing. Democrats and Republicans, they want that low wage workers. They want low wage workers coming in so that they can keep the wages low. On both sides, they want immigrants coming in. Come on. Let's be real. They want them to come in so that they can keep the wages low. And the Democrats, they need people that'll come vote for them. So they giving them welfare checks, all that stuff, Social Security. They giving all that stuff to them, putting them up in hotels, making sure they living good. While poor people in the black community, they ain't doing as well. I digress on that whole point. But yeah, he didn't do much better. Again, what is a black job? What is a Latino job? A low wage job. That's what he was saying. The immigrants are coming and taking all the low wage jobs. But the way he put it, like, hold on. What you talking about, Playboy? like in the moment, they're taking black jobs. I know they ain't taking my job. I don't know. Is my job a black job? I don't think black people can only do low wage jobs. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. What am I sorry for? Black people can do more than low wage jobs. So saying black jobs, fail. That's what I'm saying. And he did this while attacking Biden. That's why I said he should have doubled down on policies instead of attacking Biden. It's so bad. This is why I say he needs to stop. Look, it's so bad. They start going off, I could beat you in golf. Are we serious? Biden challenged me to a golf. He can't hit the ball 50 yards. And here Biden go feeding into it. Well, I told you I'll play, but you got to carry your own bag. Who carries their own bag? I mean, I would. I would. I ain't got it like that. I ain't about to be caddy, and I ain't got no caddy or none of that. But you the president or former president, and come on now, are you really gonna carry your bag? People who got money, they usually don't carry their own bags like that. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. The whole debate, it was some ignorance going on there, like with that whole situation. Trump should have doubled down on policy. It was no policy right there. It did not it. So I give Trump a fail as well. I personally give Trump a fail as well. He should have doubled down on policy. And they tick for tacking. They going at each other like we don't care about y'all old men who can golf better. Trump talking about he just won some minor leagues, and come on now. Come on. What policies do you have for us, Trump? Hey, America, I'm sorry. We are in trouble. We in trouble. Y'all know I like to troll a lot with that Trump stuff, but Trump ain't it neither. So the people are going to the independent circuit. And I hate that, I love that we have more choice than the Democrat and Republicans. I love it. But the government has to do something to give these people a fighting chance. Like, it's not a fighting chance. The government has to do something. Why wasn't Robert Kennedy on that stage? And it's like, CNN did this on purpose. He's not on stage. We're only going to have these two. We need to put some laws in, like, that's the one thing I definitely hate about our politics is this or that. This or that sucks. Because now we have Trump or Biden. Yeah, it ain't it. It ain't it. It ain't it. I think they asked some pretty okay questions as well, Some pretty okay questions. They just weren't answered the best. Like, I feel like as the American people did not get a lot out of this. Didn't get a lot out of it at all. We got an entertaining night. Yeah, we did get that. We got an entertaining night. But as the whole debate, we didn't get a lot out of it. The only thing we know now, this is what we know now. Biden needs to get off the Democratic card. And we still don't know if we're going to vote for Trump. Because he didn't double down on his policies. We want to know more policy work from him. So we'll see. I'm telling y'all, if the Democrats smart up and they switch him, who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen? Until then, though, I'm still over here struggling, y'all. I still have to pick between one or the other, and I hate it. I hate it. But it's going to have to happen. It's going to have to be done. It's nothing that can be done with that. If you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about that presidential debate, y'all. Because like I said, it was a little... in them comments. Just let me know. We going to move right on into our next topic, though. How Americans are paying for vacation. I know a lot of y'all is putting vacation on debt. A lot of y'all having fun on debt. Which means that you're actually paying more for that vacation. Y'all know vacation's already expensive. Just because. It's already expensive. So, but yeah, a lot of people put it on debt. Hey, it be like that. Have fun now, pay later. Have fun now, pay later. You're going to pay a little bit more for that as well. You're going to pay a little bit more for that. But let's go ahead and get into this. See what they got going.
The average vacation cost for one person in the United States is a little under $2,000 per week.
More than a third of summer vacationers, 36%, are willing to take on debt this summer for their travels. The reason that's worrisome is because the average credit card charges over 20%, which is close to a record high. I don't want to tell people they can't have any fun, but this represents a lot of people taking on expensive debt. And this is the kind of thing that can linger.
Globally, 72% of millennials and 65% of Gen Zs said they plan on spending more on leisure travel in 2024 compared to 2023. In the U.S., 47% of millennials and 42% of Gen Zs said they plan to take on debt to go on summer vacation.
There are so many compelling reasons why people choose to take on debt to have these vacations. If your kids are dreaming of going to Disney World, and there's no way the family could ever really swing it without going into debt, it could be a memory the family will have forever. Parents often can rationalize spending in these terms for their children.
Here's how Americans are paying for their summer vacations.
Whew. 40%. Y'all, this is aimed at us young people. Because we're at a point in the stage, I told y'all, young people, they ain't ready to, don't care. Say, I'm going into debt to have my fun. I'm about to have some fun. I'm about to swipe this card to have that fun. I do not care. And the average vacation is almost $2,000 now. That is crazy. Y'all might as well. That's why I be telling my folks, bro. I'm quick to tell people I'm not going on vacation. Because it's just expensive. It's all get out. And I don't want to spend my $2,000 going on vacation all the time. I can't go on your birthday vacation for this reason. Do y'all think it's selfish to ask people to go on vacation, knowing that the average vacation is $2,000 per person, they said? That's crazy how expensive vacation is now. And millennials and Gen Z, 40% of us say, hey, we swiping that card. We putting it on debt. It do not matter. I'm going on that vacation. Boy, you don't even know the half of it.
Credit cards are the most common way people pay for their vacations. 62% of Americans surveyed said they put at least some of their trip on a credit card. Financial experts say that this can be a risky move if the borrower cannot pay the balance in time to not be charged interest.
The average credit card balance is already over $6,000, according to TransUnion. If you add $1,000 in vacation expenses to that, maybe it feels like a drop in the bucket, but it just makes it that much harder. That $6,200, if you make minimum payments at the average interest rate of 20.7%, you're going to be in debt for 18 years, and you're going to pay more than $9,000 in interest. So some of this is making a bad situation worse.
The debt feels like this trade-off for a lot of people. It's ultimately the interchange between money for these lifelong memories and seminal experiences. And that's a sacrifice many are not only willing to make, but feel so strongly in doing so. Especially when debt is a weight many people are already accustomed to carrying.
Consumers are still out there using their credit cards. Their credit card balances are over $1 trillion now. We're seeing actual delinquencies on credit now rising. People are dipping into their savings. But bottom line is that they're still spending.
Not all credit card users are paying interest. 43% of Americans said they used their credit cards to pay for their trips, but paid it off in full to avoid interest. This also comes with the perk of accumulating rewards points.
Use those rewards points and miles. Put those to use. But it doesn't make sense to pay 20% interest just to get 2 or 3 or 4% cash back or airline miles.
In order to avoid interest while still having more time to pay off the credit card balance, some vacationers choose to open a new credit card that provides them with 0% interest for a set period of time.
The risk here is that once the term expires, the rate goes way up.
First thing people use is credit cards, y'all. Credit cards. That's the craziest thing, is a credit card. And then they tried to give folks a play at the end. Just gave y'all the risk. They gave you a play. But the risk at the end of that is not worth it. It's not worth it. And the play should not be used on vacation. It should be used on something that's going to get you more money. That's why I said people don't understand the credit card thing. Like, people just want to have a credit card so they can spend. The average balance, they said, is $6,000. And you want to put a vacation on top of that, paying regular people, you're going to pay 20%. You're going to be paying that 20% easy. You're going to be paying that 20%. So, and like he said, in the long run, it's not worth it. If you swiping that credit card, and people try to justify swiping their credit cards for the points and all that, if you let that balance roll over, what you get for the little points you lost money still. The little points wasn't even worth it. So come on now, like, no, do not put your vacation on that credit card and let that thing roll over. You are going to pay 20% extra on that. And the longer that you let that carry, you're going to keep paying that 20%. Y'all know how that go. Y'all know how it go. I'm going to tell y'all, the play they tried to give you was open up a new credit card. You know, it's 0%. Then you have time to pay it down. Yes, after that, you're going to get hit with those. They're going to hit you with a high APR. So you're going to get hit with that automatically. So if you're able to get it off. But that play is not supposed to be used on vacation. That play is supposed to be used on something that's going to help you generate money. Not on vacation, y'all. Do not run no credit card plays to go on vacations. You opening up a whole new credit card so you can get 0%. And not, the concept makes sense. The concept makes sense. If y'all say that, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Then I have time to pay it down. I got time to pay it down. But the play is not supposed to be used for vacations. That's it. And let's be real. Are you really going to pay that vacation down? Be truthful with yourself. Are you really going to pay that vacation down? Or are you going to pay your minimum? And when that 0% run out, you about to be paying 32%. And 40%. Ask yourself. Now, if you are paying on vacation with a credit card, I pay my vacation with a credit card so I can get them points and all that stuff. But it never rolls over. It never rolls over for me. I'm about to get that right on out. I never go on a vacation that I can't pay for in that moment. My friends plan a trip, bro. I'm telling y'all, my friend will tell you. When they plan a trip, I tell them I can't go until probably about a month before the trip. A month before the trip, they done planned it. Then I'll be like, okay, y'all, I'm going on the trip now. Oh, he coming on a trip now. Yeah, I'm going on a trip now. But I pay it in full immediately. Because then I know I can afford it. I'm not going to tell you, now if we plan the trip out in a year, of course, I can pay that off before I get to the trip. But if it's a trip and it's coming up and I know I can't afford it, I'm going to tell you I can't go. Do not go on that trip. Come on now, let's continue the video though.
Expires, the rate goes way up.
Another option vacationers are considering is taking out a loan for their trip. 5% of vacationers plan to take out a personal loan from a financial institution, which typically carries a lower interest rate than credit cards. The average interest rate of a personal loan in June 2024 was about 12%. 6% of those surveyed said they plan to borrow from friends or family.
I think both of those represent a slippery slope. Personal loan rates have gone up a lot.
That debt equals irresponsible is so pejorative and such a simplistic way of looking at this, that there's all different reasons and rationales why we might intentionally go into debt. People don't think taking out a mortgage for a home and making this a lifelong investment is irresponsible, but it can be a really bad investment in a lot of cases. So you have to consider, where is it important for you to invest your money? And maybe it is this trip with these lifelong memories with your family that you'll never get back.
Another option is loaning money to yourself out of a 401k account. A loan is different from a 401k withdrawal. Withdrawals have different rules and tax implications. Loans are not permitted from IRA or IRA-based plans. The reason someone may go this route is instead of paying interest to a financial institution, they would pay themselves back over time with interest. That payment will go back into their retirement account and eventually accumulate compound interest.
Borrowing from your retirement plan definitely worries me, because really the biggest predictor of future returns is time in the market. So even though we don't know what stocks are going to do this week or this month or this year, over the long haul, they've been massive wealth builders. So I feel like that would be more of a last resort if there's kind of an emergency. Going on vacation is not an emergency.
You gonna take out a loan against your financial future to go on vacation? Y'all know what I hate about it? They talk about, what about the memories you could make with your loved ones? I'm gonna be broke because I'm going on this vacation. This vacation about to hurt me. This vacation put me in a deficit. And we over here talking about the feeling that you have on vacation because it makes people feel better. I mean, like, come on. I understand. It's tough that people are borrowing against their financial future. You know, taking out a loan for vacation, it's just crazy in a thought process to me. Anyway, just the fact that people have to do that, I just feel like I'm in a blessed position, because it's sad to say, you know, like, maybe it's worth it for the feeling that you'll have on this vacation. But it is destroying your financial future. Like, gosh, Lee. It's really sad. If you going that far, like I'm taking a loan out for my 401k.
It is interesting how, while you could say on one hand that it's worrisome that credit card balances are near record highs and the personal saving rate is near a record low, this is powering a lot of economic growth. But what's good for the economy is not always good for your household finances.
Consumer spending makes up nearly 70% of U.S. GDP, which means a rise in consumer spending can spur economic growth. But a rise in consumer debt can lead to a hard pullback in spending, which can cause what's called deflation.
Deflation is just generally associated with not just recessions, but deep recessions in the economy.
A recession occurs when there's, quote, a significant decline in economic activity that is spread across the economy and lasts more than a few months.
Historically speaking, deflation means that prices are actually coming down. And the reason why prices are coming down is because people aren't spending money. The reason why people aren't spending money is because they don't have jobs and they can't afford to go out and take a trip to Hawaii or go out and buy a new Lexus or do those kind of things. They're just kind of trying to tread water, and they're not even doing that. So therefore, prices are going to have to keep coming down.
It's important to remember that there's not just one consumer story.
You have the same consumer that might be out there spending on travel, going to events, whether it's concerts or sporting events, which we are seeing very, very clearly, and that's driving some of these travel trends. And they're doing it in a way that's really strategic. At the same time, that same strategic consumer might be walking into a store and really thinking carefully about how they're spending, looking for the best promotion, the best discount. So it's not one story for the consumer. And I think that's really important because it creates a lot of complications in the narrative, because you have consumers looking for discounts, you have consumers looking for promotions, and you have consumers that want to make their dollars work the best they can in the way that works for them.
Financial experts say the key to affording a vacation is to plan ahead. Advisors say the first step is figuring out Financial experts say the key to affording a vacation is to plan ahead. Advisors say the first step is figuring out what you want to spend and to set a budget for the trip.
This is our allowance for food, and this is our allowance for trips or activities. So you can kind of make sure your behavior is consistent with your values. Because money on trips can feel like monopoly money. I had a client I worked with who decided they were going to stay in an Airbnb and they were going to cook all of their food. So they were going to save on food and they were going to splurge on this boat trip they were really excited about. And it felt like a compromise.
The next step after establishing a budget would be making a plan to save.
You can start small and daily. Maybe you're going to set aside a little bit of money each day or each paycheck to this dream vacation. And it can be helpful to have kind of a calculation set up.
On top of setting aside the money, you can also find small ways to save on costs to make the most of your trip.
There are plenty of ways to save. You can have fun on a budget. You can use your frequent flyer miles or credit card points. You could be open-minded about when and where you go. Kind of zig when others zag. Maybe travel in the off-season or the shoulder season, or drive instead of fly, or travel midweek instead of on the weekend. If you can let the deal dictate the destination, that can really help you out. Flexibility is key.
There's times when you just have to be realistic. If you financially can't swing a vacation, can you get creative? Can you find a way to take a break from your life or mimic a vacation without the big expense?
Maybe even do a staycation. I think that's an underrated option. This idea of playing tourist in your local area. So there's a way to have fun without busting the budget.
Nearly half of Americans said they plan to skip their summer vacation, with 65% of them saying affordability was the main issue.
I kind of worry about both of those extremes. You know, you have the people that are paying 20 or 25 or 30% extra to go on vacation, which is not great. But then you also have a lot of people skipping the trip entirely, which may be regrettable later on.
There's a ratio between the money being spent and the amount of time of your trip, and only you can decide if that experience, the memories of the 5-day vacation, is valuable enough to commit to having to worry about paying it off for months in the future.
I think overall that was some good stuff. Definitely some good stuff. You have to get ahead of the ball when it comes down to this vacationing thing. For me, I'm telling y'all, I have to be ahead of the ball. Like, I can't be, if I'm behind the ball, I don't feel comfortable spending the money. Like, if I have to swipe my credit card on the vacation and I can't afford it, I don't feel comfortable going on that vacation. I know we all know that broke friend that goes on that vacation. And it's like, bro, shouldn't go on anyway. You should not have been here. That's how I feel, at least. I feel like if you can't afford it, you should not go anyway. You know, it may sound harsh, however you feel. No, I know it. When I go on vacation, y'all, I spend my money. Because I've been so far ahead of the ball. Like, I already had the money set aside. I already know what I can do, what I can't do, all that stuff. I like to be ahead of the ball. I know I want to go jet skiing. I know it's going to be an $100 excursion. I already got that set aside. I'm not coming up like, dang, I done already paid for the vacation on debt. Now I'm on vacation and got to spend more money on the vacation. Nah, I want to know before I go on this vacation, what are we doing? What are we getting into? You know, that way I can set aside the money and be comfortable on that vacation. I'm telling y'all, I can, if I was to go on a vacation and I couldn't spend and do freely what everybody doing, I'm not going. That's why I tell my friends no in the beginning, because maybe I don't want to spend my money on this vacation. And like I said, I hate that there's an emotional aspect they put to this video, because now I feel like it's an emotional aspect to this vacation and stuff, you know, because it is experiences. It is, you know, lived experiences that you'll miss out. Like, maybe you want to take your kid to Disney World. Gosh, Lee, that's a tough thing to have to pick. Like, I feel bad for somebody who has to make that choice. I do feel bad for them, because it's like, and then you got the people who they're not going to do it at all. Like the dude said at the end, it's tough. That's a tough position to be in. That is a very tough position to be in. So I feel for that. I feel for it. But the best thing that you can do so that you can enjoy that vacation is know where you're going like a year in advance. Start saving. That way when you get on that vacation, you can fully feel relaxed with what's going on that vacation. Like I said, I know for me, the best times when I'm on vacation are the vacations it's already paid for. I'm not worried about it. I already got that money set aside. And the best no's I've told people are the ones where I don't think I could afford it in that time. I always know, okay, I'm going to do a vacation at this time of the year. I'm going to do a vacation at this time of the year. And I need to start saving up for that time of the year. I might not know that vacation that I'm going to go on until, you know, a couple months ahead. But I know I need to start saving in advance. So y'all get you a budget. I have a vacation budget and start putting some money towards your vacations. And then, you always get a little extra money here and there. Okay, I can fully go on this vacation. Man, if you're with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know if you spend your money, if you go into debt for vacation. Let me know how you feel about this going on vacation. Like I said, that is a rock and a hard place when it comes to having lived experiences and getting out here to go on these vacations. We're going to go ahead and move right on into the last topic of the day. How porn addiction is the biggest threat to young men. By Valuetainment. If you don't know Valuetainment, this is Patrick Bet David. This is his media company, Valuetainment. And he's going to talk to us about porn addiction and how it's the threat to young men. Do I think it's the biggest threat to young men? No. No. I don't think it's the biggest. But the overconsumption definitely, yeah, it can go a little far. So let's go ahead and get right on into this.
Porn destroys marriages in different ways. Porn destroys relationships in different ways. Porn destroys the youth in a different way. Porn destroys singles in a different way. But let me tell you how far we've come along with porn. When it comes down to porn, did you know porn as an industry is bigger than the NBA, NFL, and MLB combined just in America? And did you know the porn industry generates more revenues than ABC, NBC, CBS combined, $15 to $97 billion per year, roughly. And it's around $3,075 per second that the porn industry makes. But let me show you how far we've come along. Did you know the first porn ever produced in America was called The Kiss? Do you know who produced it? Thomas Edison. Yes, Thomas Edison. Let me read you a little bit from this website called theoldest.org about the first porn called The Kiss. No one alive today would have considered The Kiss to be a pornographic film, but at the time of its release, it was considered shocking and obscene. As the name implies, the movie depicted the very first kiss on film. It was a reenactment of the kiss between stage actor Mae Irwin and John Rice from the final scene of the musical The Widow Jones. Although the kissing scene was very chaste, just a short peck on the lips, it caused widespread uproar. Just a short peck on the lips. The Roman Catholic Church even called for censorship and moral reform because kissing in public could lead to prosecution. Several newspapers published disapproving editorials, and police presence was requested in many places where the film was screened. Today, The Kiss is preserved in the U.S. National Film Registry for its cultural significance. Now, let's fast forward 19 years later. The first porn that there's actual scene penetration, the whole nine, is 1915. It's called A Free Ride, produced by unknown, you ready? Listed as Gay Paris Pictures Company. And this is a whole story about a girl, a guy, two girls, threesome, the whole nine. And now today, if I was to ask you right now, porn today, where do you see it? Pretty much everywhere. By the way, did you know the first time child pornography in America became illegal was 1984? Did you know the first time that they made animal crush fetish pornography was first made unlawful in 1999, but that initial law was ruled unconstitutional and had to be revised in 2010? 1999. It's not too long. It's only 25 years ago. There's so many directions to go with this when it comes out to porn, and we even asked ChatGPT, what are the benefits of watching porn? And you have to hear what ChatGPT said about porn, but today we're going to talk about the industry of porn and negative effect of porn in your life.
Holy, that intro was good. That was a good intro, y'all. That's what I think. It's a lot of money being made in the porn industry. Hold on. Do I need to twist my moral compass and get into this industry to make some money? I'm not surprised, though. Y'all know how hard OnlyFans hitting? That's why OnlyFans hitting like that. I'm not surprised. Come on now. Are we surprised? I don't think so. I'm talking about more money than any sports, all the sports, the big sports leagues combined. More than all the news combined. They get into that cheddar in that industry. Am I willing to twist my moral compass to start an industry? To get in that industry? Nah, I ain't gonna do it, y'all. Y'all know I'm just joking. I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to do that. OnlyFans star Steve. Nah, I ain't about to do that. But it is crazy. I mean, it went from a kiss. They was going crazy about the kiss. Boy, if we had a time traveling machine and we bought just one take back, them people would faint. I don't think they would pass out. If they in uproar about that kiss, boy, if they seen the things today, they would roll on the ground and turn over 3 times. That's crazy. But I don't think the video is called The Biggest Threat to Young Men. A lot of women are into this stuff too now. Let's just say the young mind. The young mind. Because it's not just young men. It's women too. The young mind. Porn addiction. The biggest threat to the young mind. To the youth. To this generation. Maybe that. You feel me? Because it's not just young men. But that intro was definitely, it was hitting. It got me interested in what else is going to go on in this. I ain't going to lie. Because that's why I was only going to do 2 videos this week. I was only going to do 2. Talk about the presidential debate. Talk about how Americans are in debt. But this intro made me want to see more. From just how much money is being made in the industry, to how the first one was just a peck, and now, they full blown with a lot of this stuff, and then some of the regulations they put in. Let's continue the video though. That was getting good.
If you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So, question, ChatGPT, what are the benefits of porn? Number one, sexual education. Pornography can provide a source of sexual education for individuals who may not have access to comprehensive sex education. Number two, sexual exploration and expression. Porn allows individuals to explore their sexual fantasies and desires in a private, controlled environment. Number three, stress relief. Number four, improved intimacy. For couples watching porn together serves a
Hey y'all, that stress relief, that's the one. That's the one right there. What they say, boy, I need to let one off at the end of the day. At the end of the day, after doing all that, I need to let one off. That stress relief, that's the one.
Means to improve their communication about sexual desires. Number five, normalizing sexual diversity. Number six, economic benefits. The pornography industry generates significant economic activity, providing employment and contributing to the economy through production, distribution, and related services. Ask many porn stars what.
Oh, no, we got to go look at all them. Hold on. Sexual education. Oh, that's usually the first time when kids learn about sex stuff. They not lying. Now, you don't know, it just showing it, That's usually like the first time kids are hearing about it. Bro, it's this thing called porn. So a lot of kids are getting their sexual education from porn. Horrible spot. Let's just let that be known. Horrible place, to actually get sexual education. It's not educating you about anything. Not teaching you about anything, It's just make you happy. Sexual exploration and expression. You can explore what you like because of porn. You can explore different avenues, how you want to sexually express yourself. Stress relief, I done already laughed at that one. Y'all already know, like, end of the day, hey, I gotta get one off. Improves your intimacy. Couples, they watch it together. Oh, I like that, babe. Do that move on me. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. But this, yeah. That's that exploration part. It kind of combined, but we don't improve intimacy. Normalizes sexual diversity. This sexual, this is normal. That's something to be scared about. That's something to be scared about. Now, some of these, sexual activities, like I said, it's a wide range. It showcases a wide range of stuff. Body types, orientations, some of that, And then the economics benefits. Somebody is getting this money and pocketing it, y'all. Let's be real. No, I'm talking about am I a porn advocate. Bro, this is ChatGPT. ChatGPT made this list, not me. Economic benefits. Somebody is getting that money, though. Let's be real. Somebody is getting to the money on this. I know females that's rich off of this. We gonna act like OnlyFans wasn't a thing? They was getting straight to that money. And the thing about when you ask ChatGPT what are the benefits of porn, y'all know it's going to express this stuff in the positive light. It's going to express it in the positive light. I hope they ask the opposite of this. What are the negative effects of porn? You ask the benefits, you got to ask the opposite as well. But from this list, that is what it is.
into the economy through production, distribution, and related services. Ask many porn stars what happened when they were in the industry. See if it was a great life that they had. Now, to be fair to ChatGPT, because a lot of kids use ChatGPT today, we also asked what are the negative effects of porn.
Right.
Here's what ChatGPT had to say. Number 1, addiction. Number 2, intimacy problems. Excessive consumption can create emotional and physical distance between partners. Number 3, social and ethical concerns. Porn often objectifies participants, reducing them to mere objects of sexual gratification. Number 4, impact on young people. Premature exposure, easy access to porn can lead to early exposure among children and teenagers, affecting their understanding of sex and consent. Number 5, health concerns. Mental health. Regular consumption can be linked to issues like anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. Impact on productivity. Porn can be a significant distraction, leading individuals to spend excessive amounts of time watching it instead of focusing on productive activities. So now you'll talk to...
We got to run down that list. Your psychological impact. Porn is addicting. I know I was addicted, definitely at one point. I was definitely addicted for a long time. And a lot of us are, or were, addicted. That's number 1. It gives you that dopamine hit. And like they said, how we spend it with them benefits. This is a stress relief. So, when really, you're addicted. Let's be real. Intimacy problems. It can create, yes. Porn is fake. Yes. If you expect porn in the bed, I feel sorry for you. You sure is. If you expecting that, you have to understand how porn is created to understand how fake it is. To even understand that, okay, what everything that's going on in those scenes, yeah, and it ain't happening. It ain't happening. Social and ethic concerns, yes, you are a sexual. They are objectifying. You are now a sexual object, and it will, perpetuate into how you treat people. Young people, that early exposure. I'm telling y'all, I was exposed probably 6th grade. And from that point on, I probably watched it almost, a lot. Health concerns. Yeah, it just leads to, that's just the whole false stuff. All that stuff's false. Impact on productivity. You gonna stop doing what you gotta do to get that off. Man, I'm stressed. I'm tired of this. Let me go get one off real quick and I'll get back to it. Some good negative effects. I think. Good stuff, chat.
Productive activities. So now you'll talk to a lot of people. Some people say, porn, what's wrong with porn? Nothing's wrong with porn. And someone will say, wait a minute, what are you talking about? It's horrible for you. Here's an exchange between Candace Owens and Cardi B. Candace Owens says on May 21st, 2024, ban pornography. It's a psychological weapon intended to weaken our men. And then Cardi B responds back and says, oh my God, why y'all so against porn? Is it that bad for y'all? I enjoy it, but I don't know, I guess like a 6 times a year thing. I personally don't feel no connection or addiction to it. Just a little quick 1 or 2, nothing like real intimacy. And then Cardi B says, how? It actually should teach men how to please a woman. Now, I'm 45. While I was in Germany in the early 90s here, the show was Baywatch. Everybody watched David Hasselhoff, and boom, Pamela Anderson shows up, right? I think her name was CJ in the show, if I'm not mistaken. So what happens to her? People are in love. She dates this guy. Videos released. Pamela Anderson then talks about the dark side of porn. You think Pamela Anderson is a little bit qualified to talk about the dark side of porn? Here's what she had to say about it.
And I think we need a sensual revolution because in the age of technology, there's so much access, and I feel like people are becoming desensitized, and there's the multiple visual images that get weirder and stranger, and it's a big concern. I have children, and 2 teenage boys, and you have a child,
and it's a 14-year-old boy.
It's worrisome when I talk to a lot of mothers, and I know I'm part of the problem. I should probably disqualify myself from this whole situation because I was in Playboy and I had a tape stolen from my home and exploited all over the world, and people saw things that they should have never seen. But I didn't think Playboy was pornographic.
No, and I think
thought
say people, I'm sure, will say Pamela Anderson is saying, "Don't watch porn." Hang on, she
I'm
did
a romantic.
naked.
I'm not. Have you ever been treated like a porn star in bed? It's no fun at all. Slapped, hit, called names, spit on. That's sex.
And have you experienced
I
that?
have, and I never want to have that happen again, because I think people also put that image on me thinking they have to be wild and crazy, and then I'm thinking, God, this porn addiction, when a woman who is, living, breathing, lying in bed and your husband's in the bathroom with a computer, there's something going on that's not normal.
I can't imagine any husband of yours being in the bathroom with a computer,
yes.
married to you.
Yes.
Is that something you've experienced?
Yes, I have.
That man was trying to spit game. Didn't work out too well for him, right? But even she's saying this with two boys she's raising. Hey, treat girls this way. They're not interested in this. They're not interested in that. So I personally have had experience with different friends and associates within the effects of porn, what it's had in them in marriage, personal life, single, all that stuff. And I'll give you my experience here. But a few things. When you look at numbers, 4% of websites today in America, porn sites. 13% of web searches, porn. That means 1 out of 6 searches on Google are about porn. 20% of mobile searches, porn. 87% of pornography being consumed are by men, 13% women, 93% of boys, and 63% of girls will be exposed to internet porn before turning the age of 18. The average age of first exposure is now 11 years old. Some surveys even say 8 years old. So what do these stats mean? I mean, when it comes down to singles, our birth rate today is the lowest it's ever been. Why is it the lowest it's ever been? Porn is accessible to you, to your phone, no matter where you go. At least in the 90s or 80s, it was DVD or VHS. Now it's right here, anytime. So I have an option to go on a date with a girl, or let me just pull up a porn real quick. No more motivation to want to go out there and meet somebody, that drive to want to go meet with somebody. Watch this here now. Pew Research found that 47% of Americans say dating is harder now than it was 10 years ago. And by the way, for some of you, like, come on, man. I mean, who cares? Leave them alone. Let's think like a libertarian. Let people do whatever they want to do with their bodies. Totally understand. But I tell you one thing. If I got my enemy that I'm going up against, and a lot of people hate America, and if I wanted to find a way to get their men to be weak and crippled and low energy and just drive us out to not want to compete, I maybe would introduce a lot of porn to the U.S. Matter of fact, why don't we look at some data? What percentage of websites porn are hosted in the U.S.? You ready? Here's data. The top 10 host countries for websites containing pornographic content. Who do you think is number one? U.S. 60% worldwide. There's 8-9 billion people living in the world. We got 340 million of it. 8 billion. 340 million of it is ours, which is what? Roughly 4%? We got 4% of the population, yet 60% of the porn. Why? Netherlands, number 2, is 26%. They're pretty competitive, apparently. UK, 7%. Then it drops off to Germany, France, Canada, Australia, Japan, Czech, and Virgin Islands. 60% in U.S. You think that produces stronger men that want to go out there and compete and do stuff? I don't know. This is definitely going to be hurting the younger generation, not necessarily people that are at a different age bracket. This hurts the younger generation more than the rest. By the way, at least back in the days, you watch porn, it was just a video, right? Today, you can actually have a relationship with the porn star on a website called OnlyFans with over 120 million registered users. And on OnlyFans, 2 million content creators. OnlyFans has an average of 420 million monthly active users. And when a research and a study was done, female creators on OnlyFans face harsher consequences compared to male creators. A 2021 report from Avery Center found that 34% of OnlyFans creators surveyed reported negative mental or physical health effects like anxiety, depression, shame, and low self-esteem. When you put your body out there and you're making money, everybody else sees it. You go to work, you go anywhere. It's like, I just saw your stuff on a video. That does something to you. It ought to do something to you if you do go through it. So now, here's my thoughts on porn.
Whew, before he get his thoughts out, boy. That's some interesting facts, and I feel that. Especially if you want to make, the young people less motivated to do a lot of things, especially men. Give them porn. They gonna watch it, get one off. I don't want to do that no more. I'm good. I was gonna go on a date with this girl, possibly get some real stuff. Or I can just, it's that easy. It's that easy. More accessible than ever, for sure. For sure. You hear those stories back in the day where they used to be like, yeah, I had it on the TV, had it on the channel that I shouldn't have been watching, and then I had it on Disney Channel, and you just click that back button real quick. You ain't gotta do that no more. You on your phone, your parent busts in, you be like, yo, what's up? You know, like, what's going on? Change. Just click off of it real quick. Change. Beforehand, you sitting there with that button, you hear any noise, switch. You know, you try to switch it real quick. You had to have it on the TV, but now it's just on your phone. And I think it's crazy, you know, in the U.S., 60% they blasting it out in the U.S. And then I went to the Netherlands and they blasting it there. Boy. 93% of young men and 63% of young women will see porn before the age 11? Is that what they said? Or was it 18? And there was many before that. The stat is still crazy. The stat is still wild. Do they have sex education in school anymore? Like, that ain't the way to stop it, though. I'm telling you, that ain't the way to stop it. Now, like, OnlyFans does exist. And yes, I will say, I've had OnlyFans before. You can have, like, a personal connection with that person. Like, they can start, like he said, you feel like, oh, that's part of the family. That's kind of crazy to say, but, like, you know, you can get up and close, personal, with your own little personal porn star. And I don't think the people who participate, you know, you feel too much better after the fact. I don't think they feel too much better after the fact. After they've moved on with their life, after the OnlyFans. I wonder if they have a documentary after OnlyFans. I don't think they feel too much better. I think, that ain't it. That would be crazy going to work. Yeah, I seen your OnlyFans post. You couldn't talk about that at work, though. Sure couldn't. Talk about it at work if you want to. You'll get in trouble. Pat, let's see what you got to say, though. Let's hear your ending on this porn stuff.
When I was in the Army, we had a guy at our unit who was called the GOAT. He came in. When he came to the unit, everybody would talk about this guy. Big, tall, African-American, E6, corner 600 VHS. Everyone's like, oh, what's he watching this? All the categories. He had this. You pick and choose whatever you wanted. He had it. He was the modern day, whatever porn site it is, at our unit, right? So we do watch it. Let's watch this tonight. Let's watch that tonight. I get out of the Army, and when I start building a sales organization, you start experiencing and hearing about different guys that are dealing with porn in different ways. One of my guys that I was working with, his porn started like going from regular porn, then he started watching, and he watched some stuff that one day I walked in on an office. Some of the stuff this guy watched was, I don't even want to tell you what he watched, but go to what he was watching. And I looked at this guy, I said, man, you okay watching this stuff? Well, everybody has a different fetish. This is a very weird fetish, bro. This fetish is not actually healthy for you. And this fetish is actually not healthy for society. You're going here, yeah, what's wrong with that? A lot of stuff is wrong with this. You shouldn't be doing this. Now, I'm not trying to judge. Everybody sins in a different way, but I was trying to encourage him to get away from that. Then fast forward, you're running a business, you know, you got husband and wives that deal with their own things, and hey, so tell me, how are things with you guys? Oh, I haven't, you know, my wife and I haven't had sex for 4 months. And it was, you guys haven't sex for 4 months? No, why not? We just haven't had sex for 4 months. We thought that's normal. That's not normal. You know, no, that's not normal. Why? Private conversations. If I tell you 100, I'm giving you a small number. So 100+ conversations like this, and hey, you know, I'm addicted to this, and I just enjoy this more than I enjoy the real sex. You enjoy porn, man? Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff I see here in my imaginations, I'm like hurting marriages. Then, you know, you're in a relationship, you're like, man, you know, Tinder, this, that, and the pursuit of the hunt of trying to go out there and meet somebody. Why would I want to get into a marriage anyway? Swipe right, less responsibility, less risk. FYI, apps like Tinder on all these other places actually does the complete opposite of motivating a guy to want to be with a girl, because he can get it at any time because the app is so accessible, especially the ones that are maybe earners, top earners, have so many options. All the other guys that are sitting there trying to find a wife and trying to build a family, those options are gone because the girls are... The whole thing right now is built to make men weaker and destroy them. And any civilization, any country you give me that's addicted to porn, that's addicted to these types of things, I'm not one to judge, but I will tell you, if an enemy wants to destroy a society, do whatever you can to destroy them early on. The young men, if you can destroy them early and you get them addicted to things like this very early on, you're going to have them within the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It's no time until all of a sudden you've destroyed their character, what's on the inside, and it's at that time very easy to take them down. And by the way, guys, this topic, porn, I know a lot about this because I was a manager at Bally Total Fitness in Chatsworth when 80% of the porn was being shot at Chatsworth, and I met all these guys. They used to come to the gym. I was a manager of the gym. So you would always see what they're going through, what they're doing, the amount of drugs they were doing to produce the films, and how the dark side of it, hey, looks glorified, I'm a porn star, but on the back end, they were not happy people. A lot of them are not happy people. Person in the porn industry probably had a bad life. Father wasn't there. There's a lot of trauma with that, right? It's all acting that you're watching, right? I'm not sitting here telling you I'm a saint and I walk on water and oh my gosh, I'm this Christian guy. I became a Christian at 25. What do you think I did the first 25 years of my life? What do you think? I'm not sitting here telling you I walk on water. All I'm telling you is, if you can get ahead of this early on in your life, this can help you in a big way. If you're a father or a mother that's involved with your kids, like Pamela's talking about the stuff with her sons, a father, you got to get ahead of this. I had the conversation about something like this yesterday, one of my kids. We ought to get ahead of them, because if we don't, it's so... At 8 years old, they're being exposed. At 11 years old, they're being exposed to this, right? This is not good for the psyche. You know how they say, wow, social dilemma, social media is so horrible for you. Oh my God, it's going to destroy your life. That's social media. How much worse is if kids get in front of this at a young age? What do you think it does to them? Wow, I don't have these, I don't have this spot, I don't have this thing, I don't have this, that, oh, I'm this, oh my God, I'm not. See, it messes with your whole thing, right? It completely messes your whole thing, because that becomes your God. To each his own. This is my suggestion to you.
I feel you. That's from Valuetainment, man. That was good. That was good. That was some good stuff, definitely. I will say, just realize porn is definitely fake. Let's stop. Let's stop right now. Like, with all that other stuff, the fantasies and all that, it's not real, and it can be very unhealthy just to bring porn even to the bedroom, like just in general, because it's not, a lot of that stuff's not regular. Like he said, the drugs, the all that other stuff, it's not it. They need to start bringing sexual education back, and actually conversations are the way around it. Conversations are the way around it. That's it. Having that conversation. And he didn't even talk about how social media, pushes porn as well. Like I said, you can go on social media any day and see booty. At any time of the day, you go on social media, you're going to see some booty. And that's going to lead you right on to that website. So, what they call that, soft porn, it's all a cycle. So, I actually have a video, Desexualizing the Brain. That was by Gabe, a dude named Gabe. That was a great video on actually giving you some tools to desexualize your brain and get away from this porn addiction. So he made that video. Go check it out. I mean, it'll help out a lot, Help out. One of them is getting off social media, putting locks on your phones, different stuff like that. That'll help. Because, we got all why porn's bad and all that, but he left out the help that people need. You can have all the facts. Give me all the facts of why the porn industry is bad and all that stuff. But if you don't give me the tools to actually change, I'm not going to change. And with that, we're going to end it off right here. Thank y'all for tapping in today, man. Thank y'all for tapping in today. We had a great show. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. We had a great show. The presidential debate, again, Biden versus Trump. It sucked. Move on. Vacationing. I hope y'all are not vacationing on debt. So start early. Get you a budget early. That way you can pay it in full in the beginning. And then how porn addiction is ruining the youth. We ended it off with that. So, yeah. It was a great show today. I actually enjoyed a lot of the topics. They're cool. Stuff I have going on now. So it's always good when I have a Monday where I hit topics, that are affecting me in my everyday life right now. So thank y'all for tapping it in. We will just some checkups. Heartfelt Conversations will actually be going on tomorrow. Y'all know the 4th is on Thursday. I'll be going out of town. I got some things planned with Big Win, y'all. He was in the comments today. So he'll be on Heartfelt Conversations tomorrow. Then we'll be on our vlogging channels because we're going on vacation together to Tampa. And then y'all will see me on the Bosses Circle before I leave to go on my work travel. So yeah, we got a whole bunch planned here in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, y'all be on the lookout for all that stuff we got planned. So yeah. Other than that though, make sure y'all tap in all that stuff. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Peace, love, and riches. I'm out.